A warning about a frightening rash of robberies across New York City. The criminals find their victims on Facebook Marketplace. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sandra Bookman in for Sade.
And I'm Bill Ritter. New York cops say two men are posing as car salesmen on Facebook and then robbing potential buyers or sellers who come to meet them.
They have hit at least 9 times in the Bronx and Queens since December. And police tell us these types of crimes have doubled since this time last year.
Can you imagine? Eyewitness News reporter Torres live in Chinatown with details of the story. Joe?
Bill and Sandra, the city established about 18 months ago to cut down on those numbers you just talked about, these e-commerce exchange zones. It happened again about a year and a half ago, but not everyone knows these exist. There's one at every police precinct in the city, and the city set this up after seeing the concept work in other states and other municipalities, and it's really designed to serve as a deterrent for what has quickly become a crime of opportunity.
They're monitored 24 hours, 7 days a week.
And all 77 police precincts in the city have one, an e-commerce location specifically designed for buyers and sellers to meet and finalize an online transaction. And for the safety of all involved, there's a camera that monitors and records exactly what happens.
If you are doing a transaction with a person and there's a fear, and if they don't want to go to the precinct, maybe you shouldn't do that transaction.
The NYPD's highlighting of the e-commerce locations coincides with an ongoing robbery crime pattern that dates back to last December. 9 separate robberies of people looking to close out a transaction that started on Facebook Marketplace and ended at a mutually agreed upon location. Police released these photos of the crew they believe is responsible for all of them, 8 in the Bronx and 1 in Queens. On 2 occasions, the suspects, armed with guns, a metal bat, or even a stick with nails, got away with $10,000 in cash.
What we're seeing is common denominators in the form of the Facebook front, if you will, George Smith, these generic names. We look for common denominators in phone numbers. We look for common denominators in clothing items. And we're also seeing common denominators specific to this pattern with vehicles.
Chief Savino told us last year the NYPD saw 58 crimes of this type in the first 5 months of the year. That number has soared to 90 in the same time frame this year. Authorities say it is a growing crime of opportunity, and that's why the publicity of these e-commerce locations is key, along with some common sense tips.
Do not carry any cash. Try to use an online platform to conduct the transaction financially. You might want to meet up here to conduct the transaction as far as giving that merchandise to that other person.
Now, besides the police precincts, there are also e-commerce zones and cameras set up at the city's 12 transit bureaus and the 9 housing bureaus as well. The cameras were already in place, so this was not a big expense for the city, but at the same time, it'll go a long way towards preventing big headaches for people trying to finalize an online transaction. Live in Chinatown, I'm Joe Torres, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.